once again. It's week 2, game 2. It's Wednesday. I'm on the campus of Oakland High School. I've got with me the head coach of the Oakland Patriots, head coach Kevin Creasy. How you doing, head coach?
Doing good, Storm.
Well, big winner last Friday night. Loaded up and got the program out, put them on the bus, and went over to Williamson County. Got to play an Independence team that's been in the playoffs and made some runs here over the last 5-6 years. They're very competitive, but Patriots were able to come away with a win, 35-0.
Yeah, got off to a good start. Thought we handled ourselves well, played good defense. They're running the option with a big 6'6" quarterback, so. There was a few times.
You've had one of those. You've had a big 6'6" quarterback
well,
before.
It helps. It helps when you got a 6'6" quarterback, and he's a hard guy to bring down. A good competitor, you could tell, and just a sophomore. So in time, he's going to get real good, and I think over this season he'll just get better every week. And their coaching staff does a good job over there. Man, what a great atmosphere. Their school, well represented, student section. I mean, that place was packed. I was really impressed. And they were really fired up for football over there.
In Independence, it's a 2000. It's a year of 2000. It's not from the 90s. It was built in, I think, of course, Smyrna played them there when they in the championship in 07. But they were young then. They had not been a school system that long. I think about 2004 or 2005 they finally came on the scene with that school.
Yeah.
But they've had, as we say, they've had success quickly and been able to compete in the game of football since it opened.
Yeah, Coach Stidham's done a really good job. Coach Burks is their D coordinator. He's a guy who used to work with me, real good guy.
Okay.
And so I think they got a good thing rolling over there. And like I said, just young quarterbacks, sometimes you take some bumps in the road, but I think they're seeing the long game, and they'll be just fine. Just like last year, they got better every week.
You know who played over there? G-Money. Rashawn Golden came from there. Yeah, he played at Tennessee. Boy, Phillip played him one night. Blackman, he must have had 36, 40 tackles. I mean, he was a stud out there, coach, running around. But anyway, special teams didn't go the way you wanted it, but talk a little bit about that.
Well, we've got some young kickers, and so we've thrown a couple guys out there to kick off, and the first kickoff, Independence had a beautiful return, set it up perfect, blocked it well, and if it wasn't for our kicker making the tackle with his pink cleats on, it would have probably been a bad start, so it would have been 7-0 real fast. But I don't know. We've been working with our kickers on kicking, not a lot of tackling. I'm just glad he made the tackle. Any tackle's a good tackle, especially when you got pink cleats on. So I was happy with that. But then it
was 1 for 1.
Yeah, he was 1 for 1 on the tackles, and then of course he's just young, so we've got to throw him out there. And Coach Burks told me how low down it was for running him out there with just a few seconds left, trying to get him some experience, but. He went wide left again, so it's one of those deals where we got to get some experience in making some field goals. That stuff's going to cost us dearly, if we don't start making some of these that are, inside the 20, and got to get better at kicking the ball off as well.
Well, it's a weapon you've always had, and you've been fortunate since you've been here in Oakland. I mean, you've had a stable of kickers and been able to basically phase out of one and pick up the next one as he came along, and Trey Turk and some of those guys just clocked in every Friday night, and you would graduate one and another one would slide in, and you knew somewhere along the way, being a coach as long as you've been, sometime, somewhere, one of your positions that's always been a sweet spot, you've always had somebody or a body that can really work that position. It ends up being your nightmare. What keeps you up at night?
Well, there's good kickers on our team. They just got to get better. We've been spoiled, like I said, 9 years of great kicking.
Yeah.
We've had Mr. Football finalist winners, all that stuff, and our guys are going to be fine in time, just like we were talking about Indy's quarterback. It just got to get some experience under his belt, get the nerves shook off, and I think that's what week 1's really all about.
Well, and 2, it does present some opportunities, as kids are coming up that are younger. They know that that position could possibly be open. Of course, all positions are open each and every year in all high schools. But when it makes it makes it a little more, I guess, of a tasty carrot to a kid to know that they're looking for somebody. They got to have somebody, or so on and so forth. Well, enough about that. Let's talk about Texas, because that's what's next on the agenda. We were just talking before the show started, and you are going to leave out on Thursday. So take us to it. You said we just got right. We left Patriot Drive, and we got to Memphis, where where Graceland was, folks. And that's where we stopped. So I'll let you take it. So we're going to leave out on Thursday, 6 o'clock in the morning. Load up. Somewhere around lunchtime, you're going to end up in Memphis.
Yeah, there's a rule. Apparently, you can't drive but so many hours on the road. I'm sure that's a safety issue, and I'm all for it. I don't want any bus drivers falling asleep, so we have to swap drivers. We can't let them go the straight 10 hours of driving.
Okay.
And so we didn't want to really take 4 bus drivers with us. We only want to take 2, so we're going to swap out drivers in Memphis. And that way we only have about 2 hotel rooms for them instead of 4. So we're staying 2 nights, Thursday night and Friday night.
Where's Thursday going to be at?
We're staying in the same spot both nights.
So you'll get there sometime Thursday night. You'll eventually arrive near Anna High School.
Yeah, close to Anna. I think probably 20 minutes away.
Okay.
You've heard of Allen.
Yeah.
Allen High School and the beautiful stadium they got. So that little area is just growing like crazy. I had a former parent, college coach, text me the other day and said he used to work right around Anna, and in the late 80s there was like 2,000 people in Anna. And it's just blown up. People have started to matriculate, I guess, north out of Dallas, and there's 2,000 kids probably in the high school now. And it's just a booming city, kind of like Murfreesboro. And our numbers are similar. Our school numbers, our athletes, they're about the same. So it's a neat community, and they got a great indoor facility. They got a great stadium. It's going to be a great atmosphere, and I mean, how lucky are we to go down there and experience Texas football? I mean, Texas football is where it's at. Our guys get to go compete. It's one of those deals where we know what's ahead of us. We know how tough they are. Their coaches do a great job. They got great players. The atmosphere is going to be tough to win in. But that's the way you want it, man. You don't want some cupcake that's right down the road that, you got to pay to come here. You want somebody to show you your weaknesses. They're going to exploit some of our weaknesses. They're going to get us better for week 3. And then those are the kind of guys that we've got to beat and at least compete with to try to win some playoff games and get back eventually to the state championship. That's our ultimate goal.
Well, and you just mentioned it, being tested. I was fortunate enough to follow you up to Center Grove last year. And kids, if you've never been to South Indianapolis there to Center Grove, and you're talking about the facilities and kids, that's a mini college town, first class all the way, and you get a real good taste, and it's good to see those facilities and understand that their press box has an elevator, their press box has a restroom, press box is fully air conditioned all the way through it. It's different, and when kids have the chance to not only go to school there, but have a chance to go and compete in stadiums like that and play in facilities like that, it's a rush. And they don't forget it. To be able for a child to travel and everything, same kind of scenario, but not. Judy grew up. She was with me, and we grew up together. She was in the band, and we had a heck of a band. We was okay in sports, but we was real good in basketball. But we had a really good band. They went to the Macy's parade. They marched in their inauguration. We're just a little town, but we had a good band. They wanted to invite you and things like that. Those kids got to travel to New York. They got to travel to Washington, D.C. for Bush's inauguration. I mean, it stays with people the rest of their lives. So this trip, it's going to mean a lot to them, and later on they'll tell their kids, so on and so forth, their friends, when they come back, how big the school was. Those that don't make the trip, it's going to be historical, like you said, regardless of what comes out. It's going to be historical.
No, those guys, they're in for a great trip. Like I said, 95% of our team's never been to Texas. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to get to go through Arkansas as well. We're going to have
you're going to get to see our.
We're going to have a great time eating a sandwich in the middle of Arkansas. So we're hitting a rest stop wide open in the middle of Arkansas. So those guys are knocking off some states that they've never seen. And like I said, the biggest deal is, we're going as a team. It's a big ordeal. It's very costly. At the end of the day, it's all going to be worth it because we're going to be a closer knit ball club. We're going to get better at football. We're going to get a great film that's going to teach us a lot about ourselves. And then, win or lose, this game doesn't determine whether we go back to state championship. Same for Anna.
Yeah.
Give them credit. They could have easily gone out and found somebody else to play. They've gone out and found us, and it worked out perfect. The two of us need to be playing. I wish they were a little bit closer.
Yeah.
If they were closer, I play them every year because, like I said, playing a team like Anna, they got great coaches. They do things fundamentally right, and then they expose you. And if you don't do things like you're supposed to, they take advantage of it. And we need to see that now, week 2 instead of week 2 of the playoffs.
Well, and two, thank goodness for technology. Years ago when you and I were in high school, a trip like this would have been like going to outer. I mean, it would have been really, really big. It would have been the trip of the decade. But at the same time, able to take movies, able to download. The internet's everywhere. They got their phones. It's of course, you and I, we grew up, we played cards a lot. Played a lot of spades on the bus, but a lot of poker. But like you said, the camaraderie and the memories and the teasing and all the fun, as long as they get to go out there and most important thing, like you said, have fun, but play hard and represent the state of Tennessee, represent Oakland High School, represent Rutherford County and Murfreesboro.
No doubt. You got to understand you're representing the whole state, a whole brand of football around here. If we went out there and laid an egg, it'd be sickening. It'd be sickening. I know that we got a couple guys that, got hurt last week, and, we're not going to use that as any kind of excuse. We're going to go and play our butts off. And like I said, we got to play 48 minutes and represent. That's what we want to do. We want to show them our brand of football. And, if our guys are made out of the right stuff, there ain't going to be no excuses. And we'll be able to lay our head down Friday night on a hotel room pillow and be able to sleep just fine knowing that we played our butts off.
Well, TT always wanted to play the big ones. He's going to get the ball, he's going to get his chance, and he's going to be in the big one Friday night in Texas. And Anna, let's get out of here. Most of all, if you're going on that trip, support Kevin and his crew, and we want all our kids to be safe. This is an extra special trip. We want them to be safe, and God be with them as they go over and compete and be on the road and so on and so forth. And protect all our teams this Friday night as they go out. But anyway, join up with him if you're going and support the Oakland Patriots on that 10-hour bus ride. We hope they come home a winner. And we'll see you tonight on Inside the Headset. We'll talk to some other coaches.